Hello. So this video is over a product called Cami, which is essentially just a really nice PDF editor that might be a solution to some of the problems you guys might be having in your classroom. A lot of teachers have talked to me about basically trying to take a paper worksheet and figure out a way basically for students to respond. And so Cami might be one way to do it. The other way that I've seen is just if you upload that PDF to your classroom assignment and then just have a Google Doc separate where they would type in answers or something like that. That could work, but this might be a little bit more interactive. So I'm going to kind of show you in this video Cami's kind of settings and features on their free and then paid versions if you're interested in that. And then the next one, I'll basically talk about how you would assign that to students either with the free or the paid account. So what you would do, you would go to their website, you would sign in. You're going to sign in with Google. When you get that far, I think mine just remembered me. And this is kind of the home base that it's going to give you. You can open up PDFs from Google Drive, from your computer. If you have the paid version, that would be where you can create a classroom assignment. But if you don't, I'll show you how to do that later, or just a blank page. So I'm going to open from my computer because I'm at home. And let's just let's do this. This is some really cool interactive notebook slides that Devin Unruh has made. And so it's going to load that PDF. And this actually is really similar to what the students would be able to see when they're editing the PDF in terms of response. So they'll have a PDF in front of them. And then on the right, though this might be smaller, this is kind of like our toolbar is on, or not on the right, on the left. On the left is kind of like our toolbar. So select would just be how you would move through it. And you can either do that through the arrow, or if you have like maybe a touch tool, let's say I'm doing this on my iPad, I can grab and go, stuff like that. They also have a spot where you can select annotations. So if I have a bunch of things that I've added or edited, I could go through and select those. But for right now, I'm just going to scroll. And let's say I want to input text here. I want my students to be able to type on this PDF to answer this question. What they would do, there's also, I should go through these. So this is a selector. This is a dictionary, kind of cool. And then they also have text-to-speech options. And I'm not sure if that's paid or if that's free, that tool there. But then here, this kind of next section, this is the one that's probably really important for us teachers. They have the ability to mark up, so they could write with their pen, so to speak. So this is, if I'm looking at text, I could highlight text, and it can usually, for the most part, it'll figure or identify that text. Oh yeah, so you can always have it saved to Drive to automatically, just like it does on Google Docs. So you could use that for a highlighter. They can do a box highlighter, so they could highlight a whole area, which would be handy if it's not necessarily like, let's say if it doesn't recognize this as text, I could use the box highlighter. They have some strike through and some underline type stuff as well. And you can kind of control the highlighter color there in terms of markup. They have a spot for a comment. So this could be for teachers or for students. But you're going to basically pick where you want the comment to be. So let's say I want to put a comment right here. I would click that. And then if I scroll over a bit, you can see it. You also have to look there. You can see my comment box is over here to the right. And then I, as the teacher or a student, could comment. Now, they have other ways of commenting, such as voice and video. And I know that those are there's a dog, sorry. Scared me. But I know that these different tools, besides just a text comment, those are part of the paid account. The one that most of us are probably looking for is a text box. So if I want them to be typing here, the student would select the text box. They would click where they want to start typing, and it's going to pop that in there. And I can write, slide number 1, slide number 2. And I can just keep going through that by inserting different text boxes. And they can change the text color as well as the size. So I can make that bigger font if I wanted to, or change the color here. They also have some math equations. I haven't played around with this at all. So if you're a math teacher, good luck, because I haven't looked at it at all. And then what we're probably more familiar with would be if we want to like handwriting type stuff, though that's harder on a computer, that would be where the drawing comes in. And I could put whatever I want. This might be better if, say, you have a tablet or some sort of drawing stylus, but for the most part, the text, I'm guessing, is where you're going to be having students respond, as well as the highlighting markup tool. They can also insert drawings, or you can insert drawings if you're kind of preparing this PDF for them. And then there's an erase function for, say, the different text that I drew that I want to get rid of. And you can insert images as well. And then there's a signature spot. I know that's more for like professional PDF type stuff. and that is a paid feature right now. You can also expand this so you can kind of see what those descriptions are always. But this is the same view for both teachers and for students. And then if you look up top here, you can zoom in and out. You can go to, same with the plus buttons here, you can change the name of this document for when you're sharing it with students. It'll show you where it's came from. So this came from my Google, or from my computer. Again, I can toggle the sidebar, and this will give me all the different slides. And then over here to the right is the option to open like a different file. You can share this, and that'll be important later when I show you how you can assign it. You can print it from here. So if you want to use this as your PDF markup tool, you can do that. But then you can also save, and they have their own cloud, but you could also always just put it in Google Drive as well, which is probably the option most of us would be using. You can also download it if you would like. And then they also have their little menu here. It's for kind of navigation. That create assignment with the Google, that I think is a paid feature because I know the Google assignment stuff is. But you can also rotate and do some other cool things in here as well. So that's kind of the features of Kami. And then the next video I'm going to talk about, what I'm sure we're all waiting for, is how you would assign this to students.